How can I have how can I ever have sex again without getting a nervous breakdown or a panic attack? I was so sexually traumatized throughout my teenage years and early 20s that at one point I decided I just don't want to have sex ever again. I don't know how to start this video, but what I realized is that so many of us are so deeply sexually traumatized, but no one's speaking about it. And I want to break those shameful boundaries and help us all to heal and to talk about it. Because what I've learned is that it doesn't matter how traumatized you are, there's always a way out, and there's always healing that you can receive and that you can work on. Nothing is ever lost. It doesn't matter how dark it looks at this moment. So, sexual traumas are something that no one's really talking about. At least that's what I'm observing, that's what I feel. I always thought that only women are affected by being sexually traumatized until I realized this is not the case. When I met my no husband and we started to talk about it, at one point before we were in a relationship, something inside of me just told me that I have to open up about everything right now, because otherwise I will never heal and I will never be able to have sex. Somehow I was so afraid that if I start talking about it, this person won't ever have anything to do with me again. There was so much pressure and so much shame around everything I've experienced that it took me 6 years to really open up about everything. Somehow my intuition told me that I'm safe with this person, so I started to open up. And what I experienced then, in a storm of tears and everything, was a soul who's just listening and understanding what I'm going through. And I was surprised, to be honest, because I thought I expected every reaction, but not empathy and understanding. Until I realized that I have another traumatized soul sitting right in front of me. And then he opened up about his sexual traumas, and I had no words, because somehow my brain never thought that guys could also be sexually traumatized by girls. I always thought it's only the other way around. Until I realized that eventually men and women, or women and women and men traumatize each other until they find their right partner, their soul partner, with whom they are meant to be together, with whom they are meant to heal together. So after opening up, of course, it was not healed. The only thing I immediately felt was that a heavy, heavy, heavy weight, you guys, I cannot express or describe how heavy it was, fell off my shoulders, and I could take a breath. And I thought, okay, eventually everything's gonna be okay. Why is no one talking about sexual traumas in our society? I have the feeling everything in our society is sexualized. And having sex, being sexy, and doing sexy things is what is expected. I mean, honestly speaking, I felt like a loser, and I felt like I'm unattractive, I am not hot, I am not what I should be in my age. Being, 21 to 20 to 27. I just couldn't have sex. I couldn't let anyone allow me to touch, or let alone let anyone close, because I was so traumatized. And throughout all those years, I felt like a weirdo. I felt like as I said, like, I'm not attractive, I'm not desirable, no man will ever be with me because of that. And that was terrible, and I was wondering why. And thank God I went through an awakening where I realized so many things, and I connected more to nature and to families and to what really matters in life. And then somehow the people told me that, Jenny, you don't need a boyfriend. You don't need technically anyone at all. Just, you need a husband. And then I was thinking, Okay, well, that seems very controversial. I mean, I'm so traumatized. Why would I enter a marriage? Until I realized that it doesn't matter if you believe in marriage or not, but what marriage means for me is it's a safe harbor. You have the feeling that because both of you are entering this commitment, that you cannot be replaced just like this. Like, you won't be alone or left alone, whatever is happening right now, because of this conscious commitment two people make. And it doesn't have to be religious, or it doesn't have to be a marriage at all, but somehow I feel like that in our societies these days, this is lost. It's lost that people consciously decide to be loyal and honest and stick with something or someone. Everything is distracting if you are not capable of mastering your mind. And well, I would say I am working on mastering my mind every single day. And when I decided, okay, I want to really heal my traumas, somehow the thing with the marriage popped up, and we both decided very quickly that we want to do this. And guys, what I experienced then is, if you find your safe person with whom you can talk for hours on end without anything, like no touches, no sexual topics, just someone who is really listening to you, and that person can be anyone, you can heal. But therefore, I feel it's time that we remove the shame and realize that we are all human beings, we are all souls in this body, and we are all full of pain, you know? Not totally and only full of pain. There's also so much beauty. Well, pain is also beautiful, but there's also so much carefreeness and joyful things inside of us. But I feel like these days society is in pain. Society is desperate, and we are all craving love and honesty. I have the feeling that around the globe there's this heavy blanket full of shame and guilt and fear and greed and jealousy, and we can remove that. I know that. And yeah, this video is not only made for women, it's also for men, because I don't know how you guys feel. I know that we traumatize and scare you also, and I don't know how hard it is to live up to society's expectations of what you have to do as a man for a woman. I mean, for us females, it's also hard. I mean, then there are all those female independency movements going on, and I think that the females were suppressed for so long and now fighting back for their rights. And I just hope that everything comes into balance, not that suddenly then the masculine gets suppressed, you know. I just hope that we can bring what was like this back into just an equal balance, while respecting that we are all different, yet we are all the same, because we are all souls in this body, but we all have different minds and characters and experiences and missions here on this world. And regarding the sexual traumas, guys, I mean, since I started to research more about it, I found out that many guys are traumatized because when they are with the wrong person, sometimes they are not able to get hard. And I never ever heard about this before, that this happened to someone. But since my husband opened up about it, some of his friends started to open up too, and I could feel the pain of these guys. Like, it took my breath away. I was imagining how I'm getting goosebumps. I was imagining how I would feel being in that situation. And especially what shocked me most was the reactions from the other side. Like, there was laughter, there was like, oh my God, why don't you get hard? You're such a loser. There was anger. And I'm just thinking, why these days do we react with anger so much? I know that it's because we got hurt so much, but we need to outgrow this. When we are in pain and someone else is in pain, we cannot react through pain or from a state of pain. We need to take a breath, and it doesn't matter how much we're hurt in this moment, we cannot hurt back. We can't, because then it's like Someone is hurt, hurts us, we hurt back. It's just like a hurt loop. But what really needs to happen is someone is hurt, and let him or her express herself, himself, and just listen, and then try to see it from a higher perspective and respond with love. So that we finally all become brave enough to open up about the things that scare us, the things that disgust us about ourselves, or the things that create shame and pain inside of us. Because I believe that at the end of the day, we all went through things, and we all have done things which we're not proud of. Yet the opposite is also the truth. And I think that we can only, as a humanity, raise our vibration and overall energy and abundancy and wealth and health if we start to really listen to each other without any judgment, and shine love and light upon our wounds and our traumas, and just outgrow this constant defense mechanism and anger and low responses and reactions. And I really hope that you, whoever you are, if you're going through a sexual trauma or a trauma of any other kind, just cry your tears and then reach out to someone and just start talking about it. Listen to your intuition and find a person that gives you the feeling that you're safe here, that this is a safe space. And if you don't have anyone, you can reach out to me. I will for sure not judge you, whatever you have to share and get off your chest. Thank you all so much for watching my video, and I hope that I can create some hope and a silver lining and remove some heavy trauma, shameful blankets from your shoulders. Thank you so much, and I wish you a beautiful day.